Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Shegunjayi, and I want to sincerely thank all our viewers and subscribers for their support so far. Thank you all, you who is watching. Thank you for your support so far. Please, if you're new on this channel, we would like you to hit the subscribe button. Yeah, it's completely free and you can change your mind later. Of course, if you do like the video, which I know you will like the video at the end of the video, please give it a like, and without further ado, let's jump into this video. Today's video is a unique one because we would actually be explaining to us the reasons why we need to vote in next month's general elections. Elections basically is a game of numbers, and we're just going to be telling us some of the reasons why it's important that if you don't come out to vote, you may not see the person you want to see in Aso Rock come May 29th when the swearing will be happening. But if you come out to vote, you're possibly pushing the person closer and closer to that coveted seat. Now, election is a game of numbers, like I mentioned. It means that the person that has the highest number of votes cast wins the election. This means that it is possible that very few people can determine the fates of a large number of people. For example, if you have a class where you have 10 people in the class, 2 people are running for election, 3 persons vote for Mr. A, 2 persons vote for Mr. B, 5 persons don't vote at all. It means that the Mr. A wins the election simply because he had 3 persons while the Mr. B had 2 people. So even though he has a minority compared to the overall 10 people in the class, it simply still means that he wins the election because he has the majority votes cast. So when it comes down to Nigeria elections, you can imagine that Buhari had 15 million votes in 2019 and he had 16 million votes in 2015. And yet he is ruling over a country of over 216 million people. 216 million people. That means that the extra 200 million people did not vote for Buhari at all, but then they are suffering or they are facing whatever the situation is as a result of the action of the minority 16 million people. So it means that if you don't come out to vote, then you simply defranchising yourself from the opportunity of seeing a new Nigeria. Now, if they are telling us from statistics that about 133 million Nigerians are in poverty, and we have only 93 million Nigerians that are eligible to vote according to INEC's register, it means that the number of people that are in poverty are more than the number of people that have the opportunity to change that situation of poverty. It means that those who can change us from being a poverty capital of the world to being a good nation are less than those who are actually facing the poverty at the moment. So what does it mean? It means that there's a need for us to come out there and vote, because if we don't come out to vote, if those 93 million don't do us a favor of coming out to vote, then possibly we will not be seeing the new Nigeria that we want. Now, when we look carefully at the statistics and we understand that it's possible that a party, no matter how the party is, for example, I just want to use the ruling party as an example, could have up to 5 million, 7 million party members. Now, they are not necessarily supporters, they are card-carrying party members. It means that all those party members, or majority of the card-carrying party members are going to vote for that party. So imagine if I have a party where we have 7 million card-carrying members. It means that all those 7 million, let's say 6 million out of the 7 million are going to vote for me. So all I need to do is to go and look for 10 million all around, and then I get it, and then I get 16 million. That's a lazy man's work. So it means that majority of the time when you have seen these guys come out to win elections, they've had more of their party people covering up the shows, and then they just go around, buy votes, steal ballot boxes, do some other crazy things, and then they still make up the necessary requirements to win the elections. It means that so many of us who have not been coming out to vote, playing ball on the streets when it's election day, sleeping in our house, playing games and doing all of those things, have been the one defranchising ourselves because our votes actually does count. So if less than 30% of Nigerians have actually been coming out to vote and we've been having bad leaders, they say that you cannot continue doing the wrong things, you cannot continue doing the same thing the same way and expect a different result. So there is a need for us to come out to vote. You may be telling yourself that, oh, the candidates, they are all bad, no one deserves your vote. Well done. Just remember that if you do not vote, you should not complain. That's the rule. If you don't vote, you should not complain. You should not say, oh, this thing is bad, this thing. You feel the music, or you run to Ghana. One of the two of them. So God will not come down from heaven to put a new president. Many people will say, oh, God is... Yes, God is good, God is kind, God is everything, but God will not come down from heaven to put a new president. And besides, Nigeria is not the only country in the world that God needs to attend to. So it means that as you are praying the prayer that God should bring you a new president, people in Somalia, people in South Sudan, all of them are also looking up to God for a new president. So how many people does God want to attend to in one day? So that means that there is a need for us to come out to vote. There's an adage that says that the minority will have their say, but the majority will have its way. But however, in Nigerian politics, it's the reverse. The reverse is the case. The majority will always have their say, but the minority are the ones that have their way because they are the only ones that come out to vote. I can confidently tell you that Buhari is going to vote. I can confidently tell you that Tinubu is going to vote. All their family members are going to vote. All their extended family members are going to vote. Every single person around them is going to vote. But then what about you, who they are going to rule over? These people who are around them are going to be eating from the national cake. But what about you who has no cake or bread to eat? So there is a need for you to come out to vote. Of course, another thing that you need to note is that in the last INEC breakdown, they said that about 37 million voters are between the ages of 18 and 34, and that another 33 million voters are between the ages of 35 and 49. It means that the majority of the persons who will determine next month's winner, or who should determine next month's election, should be the younger ones. Sadly, the reality is that majority of the candidates who are voting are more than 50. Those who are on the ballot box for presidency are more than 50. So it means that the younger generation are trying to vote for the older generation. It's not a bad thing, neither is it a good thing. But the emphasis we are trying to make is the fact that a lot of the votes that will be cast next month will be determined by the people that come out, the young ones that actually come out. If the young ones come out in mass, then we'll be seeing shocking results: 20 million votes for someone, 30 million votes for somebody else. But if the young ones don't exactly come out to vote, that's when we'll be seeing scores like somebody got 15 million, the other person got 11 million. And if we add the two of them together, it's not even up to 30 million, which is not even up to 1/3 of the actual INEC population, which is not up to 30% of the actual Nigerian population. So there is a need for us to come out to vote. So go and collect your PVCs. If you have not collected your PVCs, clean them, put them in your wallet, put them in a place where it's secure. Maybe you don't carry them up and down so it doesn't get stolen or whatever. But the major thing is be ready to vote. Now, former President Olusegun Obasanjo is no saint, and I'm not saying he's a saint, but he said something in his open letter and endorsement for Peter Obi at the beginning of the year. He said that it is time for the youths to take back their country. You have the numbers! Exclamation mark. You have the numbers. So when he says that you have the numbers, it means that if you can decide to come out and vote, then you can turn the country around. I was reading recently and I discovered that the Prime Minister or the leader of the Labour Party of New Zealand is actually 42. Record will speak for her that she came into power at the age of 37, the youngest ever female political leader of any country. Now she says she wants to go and settle back, that she wants to go and settle down at the age of 42. It means that she has achieved so much at a very young age. Of course, let's not forget the fact that France President Macron entered into the office at the age of 39. It means that it's actually very possible with the youths. They say that the youths are not organized, but if you look at the practical example of the number of youths that we have in Nigeria, all you need to do is to look at NSAS in 2020. When even a good number of youth did not join. Some youth did not join that NSAS movement. Yet we saw how organized it happened from state to state to state to state to state before the protests got hijacked and several other things happened. Now, we discovered that if the youth can do this in 2 weeks, they could gather themselves together, and then the NSAS movement was as big as that. How much more can they do in the 6 months when the election has been going, the election campaign has been going, or the remaining 4 or 5 weeks that are left, or the remaining few days that are left? The power of a president is such that he can wake up one morning and ban Twitter, just like Buhari. The power of a president is such that he can wake up one morning and say that what is cryptocurrency? Efagile. He can be driving to work, maybe his driver is in front, driving him to work one day, and he now said, oh yeah, go and close the border. He can even be in the restroom, relieving himself, and just said that it is time to use poster color on Nigerian notes. He can make a decision at any time. That is the power of a president. He can do anyhow. Don't allow anyone to tell you lies. We are not having things good in this country at the moment. Things are not good at the moment. Of course, I don't start telling you the fact that there is still a lot of fuel scarcity in the country, and they are still asking NNPC to move money. They are directing money from one place to another, and they are claiming bragging rights. They said that initially when the budget was released, we were told that the subsidy is going to be cut off by the ending of June. Now we are hearing information that it will be fast-tracked to April. But the amount, the figure for the subsidy has not changed. It means that the money that they're going to spend between January and June, they possibly calculated and discovered that the money is not going to be sufficient again. Now they've reduced it to January to April. The same money that has been put already inside the budget that has been approved. So what exactly is going on in our country? We do not want somebody who is sick. We do not want somebody who will be operating the country from Dubai. We don't want somebody who will be ruling Nigeria as remote or as a proxy. We want somebody who will be physically able and be able to meet the demands for the next 4 years. Now, so it's a wrap for this video. Thank you for sticking with us throughout this video. Please do not forget to share this video. Go and get your permanent voters card. It is time to take action. Keep safe, guys, and God bless you.